Hey, it's me, Ashley. I know it's been forever since I've done any kind of review, so I'm getting back into the swing of things, and I will be discussing a low-budget horror film named Hyde. It was originally released in 2008. It was written by Greg Rosati. It was directed by Casey Boscombe. Excuse me. And originally, I came across this film like a couple of years ago late at night, like on cable, and I thought the plot was kind of trippy. And I was ecstatic to see that it was on Netflix too, and it caught my attention because it's one of those films that kind of makes you think. It's not like an overly gory horror film, because I'm kind of a fan of those, but I'm kind of a chicken shit, so I'm not a huge fan of those. But this one I could watch, because like I said, the plot kind of makes you think, and it's kind of trippy, and it's about remorse and repenting, and why do people do the fucked up things they do, and stuff like that. So that's why I like the film, and it didn't help that one of my favorite actors that I have a huge crush on is in it, so I decided to pick this film. And the premise is modern day Bonnie and Clyde, two main characters, Betty, who's played by Rachel Miner, and Billy, who's played by Christian Kane, who is incredibly sexy, incredibly hot, and I'm not going to go into that. They play a modern day Bonnie and Clyde, like I said, and so they live their lives on chaos, destruction, and all kinds of fucked up stuff, and finally that comes to an end for them right after they decide to rob a bank. They're confronted by cops, and Billy gets captured and gets life in prison, and it's not sure what happens to Betty at that point. So right after that, 7 years pass, and due to a technicality, Billy has to be transferred to a neighboring state to be tried for other fucked up stuff that he did. And during the transfer, Betty uses that opportunity to spring Billy out of jail. So she springs him, and she's happy to be reunited with the love of her life, but she discovers that Billy's not the same person. He's changed while he's incarcerated. He starts to show a lot of remorse for the fucked up things he did, and he has a theory that all the things that they did are going to catch up with them. So he starts to show a lot of signs of paranoia. Like, he accuses Betty of cheating, and he's trying to figure out why she sprung him. How did she do it? And so they have like a little confrontation. And then he also starts having hallucinations, and he has like a paranoid suspicion that a dark force is torturing the ones that he loves. So Billy is not the same person. Like, he was fucked up before, but he's definitely fucked up now. So Betty's taken aback by it, but she wants them to finish what they started, because right before Billy got locked up, they were going to plan to ride off into the sunset and have their happy ever after. And right before Billy got captured by the cops, he stashed their bank robbery money into like a small gravesite. So they decided they're going to go get the money and try to have their happy ever after. Yet along the way, like, their dynamics change, because Billy's naturally changed, and he starts having a lot of frustrations with Betty because she wants things to be the way they were, and Billy's basically saying, we can't do the things that we did anymore. I'm not that same person. So they bump heads along the way, and there's a lot of frustrations between them. And upon reaching their destination, things turn really grim for the couple as well, and the movie starts getting into real, like, I don't want to say spooky stuff, but that's when things start getting real grim and fucked up. And the end of the movie has like a really big plot twist, and it kind of sits there and makes you think. And basically, at that point, it's like this is basically a turning point, because Billy, like, the ones closest to Billy, like, get hurt in the end. So I'll just leave it at that. And I don't want to go too much into it because I don't want to spoil it, but overall I thought it was a good film. It was, like I said, it was really underrated. Some may feel the ending was kind of like, it kind of scratches your head, because the plot twist is kind of like, I feel like it was shoved in there, but I thought in a way it kind of made sense. So I appreciated it, actually. I love the dynamic between Christian Kane and Rachel Miner. They play I'll just say trailer park Bonnie and Clyde, but I thought like their love for each other was really sweet, despite that they were really fucked up. Basically, like killing random people in diners and robbing people and, you know, doing shit and not having any remorse for it. So I like, and it sucks because towards the end, like I don't want to give too much away, but he basically turns on her in the end. So it was kind of, their romance to me was bittersweet. I only have one bad note about the movie. Like I said, the movie is about remorse and it's about repenting and it's about owning up to your sins. And I feel like the lesson could have been written a little bit better. Like, it's discussed throughout the film. It's just I feel like it could have been conveyed a little bit. It could have been conveyed in a less corny kind of way. Because, like, there's one point where, like, Christian Kane, like, to me, he's a great actor, but I just feel like I'm not going to say he could have, it's the material, he could have, if he had better material, maybe the message could have been conveyed more, but he worked well with what he had. And, like, he had, like, this one monologue where they're in a desert and he's just basically saying we can't do the fucked up things that we do anymore. And he had all this rage and it's just, like, you feel for this person. Like, you feel that he wants to own up to his sins. It's just he can't understand why the ones that he loves is getting hurt. Like, so it kind of makes you think. But the love story, some may say the love story was kind of corny, but I thought it was, like, really endearing and it was really sweet. And I thought the plot was kind of cool. Like, maybe the way, like, his loved ones were getting tortured was a little confusing because it was kind of shoved in there. But when you see the ending, you kind of understand why it was kind of shoved in there. So I think the movie could have flowed a little bit better, but I still liked the movie. The cinematography to me was also very beautiful. Like, it was, a known fact, it was shot in Argentina. So the landscapes and, like, overall the cinematography I thought was just fucking gorgeous. And the ending, some say, like I keep saying, I know I keep going on that the ending was kind of confusing, but I thought the ending was great because it was really savage and it was brutal and your mouth kind of drops either way. Like, even if you're confused, you're just like, whoa, did that just happen? So I thought the ending of the movie was awesome too. So I'm gonna rate the movie, I'll give it a 3, but that's because I'm a Christian Kane fan. And it's not a terrible movie. It's not like over the top stupid like a lot of those low budget horror films are. And it's kind of gory, but it's not like really, really gory. So if you like horror films where you're chicken shit like me, which I'll admit openly that I can't do a lot of really overly gory stuff, then this is like a film that you should really get into. Like I said, it's on Netflix now. If you have cable, it randomly pops up on cable like Starz or Cinemax, and I liked it. I thought it was a great film, so if you get a chance, just watch it.